What if everything you built crumbled? What if you poured your savings, your sleep, your soul into something, and it died? Not once, not twice, 7 times. Most people quit after one failure. Marcus didn't even slow down. This is the story of a man who failed publicly, repeatedly, and painfully, until failure itself became his greatest teacher. Who is Marcus? Marcus Daniel Reid was born in 1985 in Toronto, Canada. Middle-class family, hard-working father who drove trucks for 30 years, a mother who worked double shifts at a grocery store, 2 younger sisters who looked up to him. From age 12, Marcus had one obsession. He never wanted to work for someone else. The hunger was real, and so was the price he'd pay for it. But nobody warned him. The road to empire is paved with humiliation. The first dream. At 19, Marcus dropped out of college after 1 semester. His parents were devastated. His father didn't speak to him for 3 weeks. But Marcus had a plan, a custom T-shirt printing business he believed would make him a millionaire by 25. He invested $4,000 of his savings. He worked 16-hour days. 6 months later, the business had $200 in revenue and $6,000 in debt. That was only failure number 1. The family pressure. His mother cried at the kitchen table. His father called it foolishness. His girlfriend at the time, a girl named Priya he'd dated since high school, begged him to just get a job. "You're 20, Marcus. Just be normal." Those words cut deep. But instead of breaking him, they lit something inside him. A quiet, dangerous fire that would take years to fully ignite. What happens when love and ambition point in opposite directions? Failure. Number 2, at 21, Marcus tried again. This time, a mobile car wash service. He bought equipment, printed flyers, knocked on 200 doors in 2 weeks. Business started okay. Then his one employee quit. Then winter hit Toronto. Then his van broke down. 3,200 lost. Business dead in 4 months. He sat in that broken van in a parking lot at 11 p.m. and stared at the ceiling for 2 hours. Most people would have gone home. Marcus wrote down lesson number 2, the notebook. After failure 2, Marcus started a habit that would change everything. He bought a black notebook, cheap, too, from a dollar store, and after every failed venture, he wrote down exactly what went wrong. Not to punish himself, but to understand. He called it his failure autopsy. By the time he was 28, that notebook had 94 pages of brutal, honest self-examination. It became his MBA. The most powerful business school in the world costs 2 and your ego, failures. 3 and 4. Between ages 22 and 24, Marcus failed twice more. A drop-shipping business that got crushed by refund fraud. A food delivery service that launched 6 months before Uber Eats entered Toronto and died the moment they arrived. Each failure drained not just money but relationships. Friends stopped taking his calls. Family gatherings got awkward. "How's the business, Marcus?" had become the cruelest question anyone could ask. Loneliness is the tax you pay for thinking differently. The breakup. At 24, Priya left. 5 years together, gone. She wasn't cruel about it, she was honest. "I love you, Marcus, but I can't keep watching you destroy yourself." He didn't argue. He didn't beg. He walked her to her car, hugged her for the last time, and went back upstairs to his apartment. Alone, broke, and somehow more focused than ever. Pain, he discovered, was the best clarifier. Some people leave your life exactly when you need to find yourself. Rock bottom. At 25, Marcus hit the bottom. He was living in a shared apartment with 3 roommates. His bank account had 47. He was eating instant noodles 4 days a week. His father drove 3 hours from Brampton to Toronto, sat across from him at a Tim Hortons and said, "Son, I'm not angry. I'm scared for you." Marcus looked his father in the eyes and said, "Dad, give me 2 more years. 2 more years." That promise would cost him everything and give him more. Failure. 5, 26 years old. Marcus launched a social media marketing agency. He landed 3 clients in the first month. He was electric, confident, then he overpromised results. Lost all 3 clients in 90 days. 1 client threatened to sue. Marcus refunded money he didn't have, borrowed from his sister Ashley, and wrote 5 pages in his black notebook that night. Page 1 started with, "I lied to myself about what I knew. Confidence without competence is just another way to fail faster." The mentor. Everything shifted at 27 when Marcus met Daniel Reid, a 54-year-old Ghanaian Canadian entrepreneur who owned 3 logistics companies. They met at a free business networking event Marcus almost didn't attend. Daniel looked at Marcus's notebook, read 3 pages and said, "You're not a failed businessman. You're an uneducated one. There's a difference. Come to my office Monday." The education. For 8 months, Marcus worked for Daniel, not for money, but for knowledge. He shadowed him in meetings. He watched how Daniel handled suppliers, employees, angry clients. He learned cash flow management, profit margins, scaling systems. Daniel gave him one rule: never start a business you don't deeply understand from the inside out. Marcus wrote it in the front cover of his black notebook and underlined it 3 times. Real education doesn't give you a diploma, it gives you discipline. Failure. 6. At 28, even with Daniel's mentorship, Marcus failed again. He launched a logistics micro-business, small package delivery for local businesses. The model was solid. But Marcus moved too fast, hired wrong, and burned through capital in 5 months. Daniel didn't say, "I told you so." He sat Marcus down and said, "Good. Now you understand logistics from the inside out. You just paid for that knowledge with your own money. It's yours forever." The most expensive lessons are the ones that actually stick. Failure. 729. One more attempt. An e-commerce brand selling Canadian-made outdoor gear. Marcus was meticulous this time. Market research, supplier contracts, a small but loyal Instagram following of 4,000 people. Launch day came. The website crashed. The supplier shipped wrong items. 2 viral negative reviews buried the brand in week 1. Marcus shut it down after 60 days. He was 29, had failed 7 times, and was completely out of money. 7 failures. And yet, he still opened his black notebook. The night everything changed. It was 2:30 a.m. on a Tuesday in February. Marcus was at his kitchen table, black notebook open, and for the first time he didn't write about what went wrong. He wrote one question at the top of the page: "What am I actually good at?" He wrote for 3 hours. The answer that kept coming back: operations, systems, and making chaotic businesses run smoothly, not starting businesses, fixing them. Sometimes your real talent hides inside all your failures. The pivot. At 30, Marcus didn't start another business from scratch. He called 5 struggling small business owners in his network and made them a radical offer: "Let me run your operations for 90 days. If I don't improve your revenue by 20%, you pay me nothing." 3 said yes. Within 60 days, all 3 businesses showed measurable growth. Marcus charged a performance-based fee and made $18,000 in 3 months, more than he'd ever made. The 8th attempt worked because it was built on 7 real educations. Building the empire word spread fast. By 31, Marcus had 7 business clients. He hired his first employee, his younger sister Ashley, who had once lent him money in his darkest hour. By 32, he had a full operational consulting firm, Reid Operations Group. 15 clients, a team of 6, an office in downtown Toronto, revenue crossing $400,000 annually. The same man who ate instant noodles at 25 was now signing 5-figure contracts. Empires aren't built in a day. They're built on every day you didn't quit. Reconciliation. The moment Marcus remembers most isn't a big contract or a revenue milestone. It's the Sunday afternoon he drove back to Brampton, walked into his parents' home, and put a check on the kitchen table. Every dollar his father had quietly slipped him over the years, paid back in full. With a handwritten note: "You believed in me when I didn't deserve it." His father didn't say a word. He just pulled Marcus into a hug. Success means nothing if you can't share it with the people who held you together. The notebook's final entry. At 33, Marcus found his original black notebook, the $2 store notebook from After Failure 2. He read all 94 pages, every painful entry, every humiliating lesson. Then he turned to a blank page at the back and wrote the only sentence that mattered. Every failure was a brick. I just didn't know I was building a foundation. He framed that page and hung it above his office desk. It's still there today. The story you're living through might just be chapter 1 of your greatest success. What Marcus says now. Today, Marcus speaks at universities and business events across Canada. He tells every audience the same thing. Don't pray for fewer failures. Pray for better documentation. The entrepreneur who studies their failures becomes unstoppable. He also reconnected with Priya years later, not romantically, but as a trusted friend who now refers clients to his firm. Every chapter of his story had a purpose he couldn't see at the time. The version of you that survives the failure is stronger than the one who never tried. The final message. Marcus Daniel Reid is 38 years old today. Reid Operations Group has worked with over 200 businesses across Canada. He's built something not just financially successful, but emotionally unbreakable, because he didn't just build a business. He built himself, failure by failure, page by page, lesson by lesson. If you're sitting somewhere right now thinking about giving up, Marcus wants you to know failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the curriculum. Subscribe, because every week we bring you the stories of people who refuse to stay broken.